All right, what's going on, guys? What we're going to do today is something that I have not done literally in a couple years, and that's going to be to target some peacock and largemouth bass in a more traditional bass fishing style way. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that several years ago, I used to do this pretty regularly, probably about once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'd go out and try to catch some larger peacocks and largemouths. And I just got away from that the last couple of years. Been focusing a lot more on panfish, some saltwater, micro fishing, just doing a lot of other types of fishing, not really targeting peacocks and largemouths. So I brought out my Sancor and Mojo bass for the first time in several years now, and we're going to be trying to catch some larger peacocks and largemouths. So let's give it a shot, and let's see what happens. Alrighty, so here's the lake we're going to be fishing. Hopefully it looks familiar if you remember my peacock videos from several years ago. I don't think I have fished this now in probably at least 2 years or so. Like I said, I got my Mojo bass rod out. The lure for the day, at least that we're going to start out with, is the Nico Leech on a 1/8 ounce jig head. I got so many of these like bass fishing style lures that I have just not used in years now. I believe this is the Eclipse color, pretty natural, like a dark brown here that fades to like a peachy cream color there at the end. Looks real good. But enough talking, let's cast this thing on out there. It is very windy today. You can kind of see it on the surface of the water. Gonna make fishing a little difficult, but let's see if we can get into some bass of some type here. Got him. First fish of the day, and it's not that big of a one. But let's get him on in here. Alrighty, so it took 25 minutes, and it is certainly not a big fish, but we got our first fish of the day on our first bite. So action is slow, but let's get this guy back, and let's try to pick up a couple more here. Got him. Fish 2, also not that big. This is a peacock though. Alright, so this is a tiny little largemouth, but we might have found a pretty good spot right along this weed line, grass line here. So fish number 2 on the bank, little peacock. This guy looks super similar to like yellow perch up north. Just those orangish fins, yellow coloration, those black stripes, not stripes, black bands. But yeah, so 2 fish on the bank, neither of any size, but it's going okay. Let's get this guy back and let's keep fishing. Got him. Very next cast. This one feels bigger. He's about to jump. Let's keep him down. He's not that big, but he's bigger. What is this? No, he's not that big. Another largemouth. Alrighty, so fish number 3 on the bank. Very next cast after that peacock. Still came from roughly the same spot. We got a nice little drop off here right next to all these like grasses and whatnot. And the fishing in this spot has been pretty good. Fishing in all the other spots I've tried so far in this lake have not been so good. Oh, got him. That one feels good. Don't jump, don't jump. Let's see if we can get this guy in here. Not massive, but a good size largemouth. Can I flip him up here? Let's go. Alrighty, nice fish. Biggest of the day for sure, several pounder. He's been caught before because he's got a little hook mark up there, and that is not where my hook was hooked. But yeah, beautiful fish. Best one of the day. Glad we were able to land this guy. Let's get him on back in there. And this day ended up being pretty good. It was a really, really slow start. I was worried, but now we're getting into them. Alrighty, I'm going to fish for a few more minutes. The kind of pattern I noticed today is these fish have been coming on the drop-offs. So all along this lake at varying distances from shore, sometimes 5, 10 feet, sometimes 20, 30 feet, there's a very steep drop-off. And the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, right now it is mid-November, so about 2-3 weeks ago, the weather just started getting cooler for the first time. Before that it was still like summertime hot. Now it's starting to get to be like fall hot. Still definitely hot, but it is a little bit cooler. So I'm thinking some of these fish might be moving into that deeper water. That's just going to be a little bit warmer than the shallower water, because all the fish we've gotten so far, all the bites have come on these drop-offs. So not sure how well it comes out here, but there is a very nice drop-off about, I don't know what that is, 15 feet away. So we'll fish that drop-off for a few minutes, and then after that I think we're gonna wrap it on up. We'll try to get one more here before we call it a day.
What are you using?
Just a little plastic worm. So, as anticipated, right on the drop off there, within maybe 2 minutes of getting here, we got ourselves another largemouth. Bigger than I think 2 of the ones we caught, but certainly smaller than that last one we caught. But yeah, still a nice fish. Let's get this guy back. Oh. And let's go ahead and let's wrap it on up. This was a pretty good session. All right guys, so that's gonna do it. And after a really slow start, it picked up in the middle and it stayed good all the way through to the end here. So I think the problem was in the beginning. The drop off that I was like fishing, the area I was fishing, the drop off was like a solid 30 plus feet away from shore. So I couldn't really fish it properly, it was just too far away. But then the second, third, and now the fourth spot I fished here, that all produced fish, the drop offs were much closer to shore. So I was able to get my lure down into the drop off just a little bit better and fish it more effectively. And that's where the fish are holding today. So really, really happy that I came out here. I forgot how much I like this kind of fishing too. I mean, fishing's fishing. Any kind of fishing is going to be fun. I haven't done this now in over 2 years. I remember the last time I bass fished like this, it was July 2022. As I'm recording this, it is November 2024. So it's been over 2 years since I've fished for bass. I've caught bass since then, but that was always on like ultralight gear, targeting bluegills and panfish and whatnot. But just fishing this like heavier gear, bigger lures, it's still a lot of fun. So yeah, really good session. Really glad I came out here today and fished it. Hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys next time.